And we're back!
And we're back.
With Adar Hameitan. What a schus to be joined by Adar Hameitan, an OG YGS.
Awesome, bro. Hold on one second. I just got to configure the speakers and stuff, the headphones.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
And we're G. Shalom Aleichem, Avi, Umori. Welcome to the Shteigin.
Aleichem Shalom.
Oh, Gavaldig. Mirza Hashem, one day we're gonna be joined by my papa, my father's father. One day soon, Mirza Hashem, put that energy out into the universe. That will be a huge schus for us all. Okay, so for the past few, we've been talking about the Tanaim that were caught by the Roman Empire. Some of them went on to become the Heilige Asara Haruge Malchus. And so we're going back there on that today. We learned yesterday a Moradik Azach about Chanina ben Trajan. Chanina ben Trajan, right? And we said the Gilyon is Nisrafin and the Osios are Porchos. Dad, when they burned Chanina ben Trajan, he said, what do you see? He said, I see the cloth is burning, but the letters, right? And the Tosfos, the letters might have been making a sound, which caused them to ask, what do you see? Okay, so maybe we're going to go right there on the Chanina ben Trajan train, on the Asara Malchus train. Let's see where we go. Zak the Heilige Gemara. Bruria de Beishu de Rebbe Meir. So Bruria was the daughter of Rebbe Meir, huge Talmud Chacham, Talmidah Chachama, one of the biggest girl learners in our history. And I'm pretty sure that like there's a school for like girls learning Gemara called Bruria. And we actually saw Bruria. We were doing Parak Ein Dorshin. We're learning about Rebbe Meir and Elisha ben Avuya. So we're right at home with Bruria and Rebbe Meir. What do they say about Bruria? Bruria de Beisho de Rebbe Meir, right? Daughter of Rebbe Meir. Barte de Rebbe Chanina ben Trajan. Oh, still on the Chanina ben Trajan train. Bruria was his daughter. So Havoy Amra, so she would say, Havoy, she was, right? Amra Lo. So she said, Lachora to her dad, she said, Zila be Milsa Diyazve Achtai Bekuba Shel Zonos. Remember that Rabbi Chanina ben Trajan got the gezerah that he was going to be burned, but Chanina ben Trajan's daughter, she got the gezerah that she was going to go to the whorehouse. And the reason is because remember she was taking like those like sexy steps. And so at her level, so that was her sister. She was the sister of Bruria also. And so she says, it's not gishmak for me that my sister is going to sit in a whorehouse. Shakal Tarkava the dinari ve'azal. So someone took like a pack of money or something, and Amar Ilo is Avid Miss Avid Nisa. E of the Isura Lo is Avid Nisa. So we saw that by Rabbi Elazar ben Parta, the partisan, Rabbi Elazar ben Partisan, that he kept on like having these nisim to save him, and so he said, listen, I took some money, and if she didn't do any isurim in her life, or probably sexual isurim, then she'll have a miracle happen to her. If she did the nace won't happen to her. Azal nakat nafshe kichad parsha. So he made himself nafshe, nefesh. But it's talking about himself, right? That's who we are, the psyche. We're our personality. right? Kichad Parsha. So here, Parsha, it could be like a horse rider. So he made himself just like a horse rider, like Paul Revere. Lahavdil Elif Alfe Havdalas. Paul Revere is probably a pedophile. No, I don't know, but probably if he's like dealing with like the start of America, probably not such a good guy. But I don't want to say I'm blabbing on Paul Revere, you know. Um. So, anyways, Amar La Hashmi Ini Li. Let me hear. Tell me. Amra Lay. So she told him. She said, "Dashtina Ana." Dashtina Ana. Maybe like I've like had like relations in my life. Like I've been plowed. Maybe it could be that. That's not the shot. We're just looking at the Gemara before we see Rashi right now. And Dashtina, the word that comes to mind is like dash. Like no, like I have been plowed. So you're gonna say, Shmuel, why is your mind going to disgusting places? Why? It says dash, and so you're thinking about it. Me'echetezi, that dash is a lashon of sex in the Torah. Anyone? It's in a Rashi and
Stacy, the dash is a lashon of sex in the Torah.
Yeah. It's a Rashi and Bereshis. Good blibe, good blibe. When they're talking about the two sons of Judah, who right? It says Dash mi bifnim, v'zor mi bachutz. So that's why Dash.
Nice, bro. Nice.
I'm still blind.
That was right? This last week, bro. That was like this last week,
bro.
Geschmack.
It's a Gemara. So Amar La Misrachna Martach. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I mean, Misrachna Mirtach is like, Mirtach is like boiling. Like, I don't know, like maybe he's like, yo, it's hot. Or since he's not like Trump or one of these other people, Trump, that's such an easy joke to make. That's what all like the Seth Meyers make. Like, oh yeah, Trump likes his daughter. But it was too easy. So whatever. He's also, there's no I'm not trying to save Trump's feelings. I'm more I care more about talking about Paul Revere, because like really we don't know what that guy's deal was. All right. Amra Lo, Nefishin Tuva. She's like, yeah, man, like a lot of times. Okay. I just reading the words.
This is a great bit. I'm just saying the Paul Revere thing. It's a great bit.
We don't know anything about Paul Revere, yo. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I know, but it's so funny.
If he's friends with George Washington, he's probably a Freemason. George Washington was definitely a Freemason, and all of the founding fathers were rapists and racists and probably pedophiles, but whatever, at different times. Okay. But they were Freemasons and Satanists, that's for sure. Okay. Listen, we're just trying to learn the sugya over here. So she says, yeah, a lot of times. V'ika tuva hacha. That's in parentheses. I'm not reading that. Nefishin tuva deshapira minai, that are more beautiful than me. All right, so we're really not sure what is going on here. Like, we're trying to say like a pshat, but like it's the pshat that we're trying to say is like they're just like having really dirty like conversations. I doubt that that's what they're actually saying. So we're gonna continue to blind. Amar Shmami no lo of the Isuri. He says, from the answer that she gave, which when I read it, I was like, yo, like this is getting like hot and heavy over here. But he's like, oh, we can infer from her answers that she did not like hoe around, right? Kol da'asi amrale achi. Everyone who, we know that she was like walking sexy, but like, we don't know that she actually did anything. And Rabbi Chanina ben Shteigin is like, oh, we can infer that my daughter's pure, which sometimes parents think that about their kids, like, oh, my daughter. Love Israel. Kol da'asi amrale. So everyone who came said feminine to him, hachi, this. They said like, no, she was I don't know. Azal legabe shomer dida. So he went to the person who was guarding her, right? They were keeping her in prison. They went to the guardian of her. Amar le havanele, give me her, right? Amar le. So the guard said, "Nistapina mimalchusa." It's like, yo, I'm hesitant, bro. Like, right? Like, what is this, Jeffrey Epstein? That the guards that let the prisoners go free are just free to go. No one asked any questions. Oh yeah, he fell asleep. Oh yeah, the camera stopped working. Yeah, okay, right. So here he was a good guard. He's like, listen, like I'm gonna get in trouble. Mistapina, that's a good word. Adar hametan, remember that word, mistapina. It means hesitancy. But lule de histapina, if it wasn't that I wasn't right? Whenever like a Talmud Chacham is gonna slug up like another Talmud Chacham that like right, and like he's like, oh, this other person's a big Talmud Chacham. I don't want to like come straight out and say that like, you know, I don't want to come out straight out and say that like every like Rosh Yeshiva who vaccinated their Talmidim is a Roidev. You know, I want to be a little humble, right? So I'm gonna say, Lule de Histapina, if I wasn't hesitant to talk against all these Gedalim, I would say that they're all Rodzim, right? Because they made their Talmidim get this experimental vaccine which kills way more than it saves, you know.
Sorry,
Lule de
what's the definition of histapina?
Histapina is to hesitate.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
So Lule de Histapina, if I wasn't hesitant, I would say that all these Rosh Yeshivas are right then. And like, what? Or say kill them? No, I won't say kill them, but I think they definitely be removed from their positions. I mean, come on, these people cannot be in charge of making decisions for Am Yisrael. These people that fell for the pandemic, fell for the vaccine. Come on, I mean, the Pashat Zach. Okay. So he says, I'm afraid of the government. Listen, Mr. Pina Mimachusa. Amar lay shakul tirkava de dinari. So take this money. Remember, he took like a pouch of cash. He said, take this cash. Palga, plach upalga lihavilacha. He said, half of it, plach, you should do service with, and half of it you can keep for yourself. They're gonna be mad that I lost this girl. I'll tell you what. I'll give you $1 million right now. Say like, yeah, I lost her, but here's 500,000. Give it to the government. Take 500,000 for yourself and go live on Epstein's Island somewhere. Amar lei b'chi shalmi my iavid. He's like, okay, you're gonna pay me, but what am I gonna do? Amar lei ema Elaha de Meir aneni. So they said, the guy's like, well, what am I going to say? Like, if they catch me or something. Again, we're going to have to go do chazal with Rashi. But he says, you should say, the God of Meir should answer me. Elaha de Meir aneni. We've definitely heard Elaha de Meir aneni. Right? Aneni is a big thing. What?
We've learned that.
Is this
we've seen it. We've heard it. You know?
Is this the first place it comes up in the Gemara? Or?
This is the Makor that I could think of right now is this Gemara and Avodah Zarah. Could be that there are other places, but this place is definitely Makor. Also, like the first place, like all Shas is like one. It wasn't like, oh, they came out with brachos. What's going to come out next? Wow, they came out with Shabbos. It's like first they wrote the Mishnahs, and then like all of the Gemaras it was written as a single unit. So it's not like first place. You could say first if it's in a Mishnah or in a Brisa. But this seems to, I don't know if this is a Brisa. It's a story about Tanaim. So Allah de Meraneni salta, and you will be saved. Amar le umi yaimar dehachi ika. How do I know that it's gonna work? What this guy wait, no. Bruria was just a friend. She calls her the sister, but she was the son. No, Bruria. Wait a second. Was Bruria Rebbe Meir's wife?
I think so.
Yeah, Ruri was Rebbe Meir's wife and the daughter of Chanina ben Chargin. Okay, now it makes sense. Okay, fine. So it seems that it was Rebbe Meir who was going and saying, like, yo, like, take this money, right? Okay. And who says that's gonna work? Amar Le Hashta Chazis. He's like, just watch, right? Havu Hanu Kalvi, the Havu Ka'achli Inchi. Holy cannoli. So there was a few dogs that were eating a human next, like around the block or something, or next door, or right next to them. Shako Kala Shadabahu. So he took some dirt or something, or some like twigs, and he threw it at them. Havu Ka'asi Lemichle. So they went to go eat it. Amar Allah de Meir Aneni. And they said, Allah de Meir Aneni. There's a Heliga Gillian Ashaz over here.
Nice.
Yeah, but he quotes but he quotes some mimer called Chikor Hadin, which we don't have, from the Ramal, which is Moshe. I don't know, from some guy. Okay, we don't have it. We can't see the Gillian, unfortunately. But there's a Gillian on Allah the Meir Anani. Anyone wants to go deeper into Allah the Meir Anani, there is a sugya that beckons. Shavkua, so they let it go v'yavale, and he gave it to them. Like, these were wild dogs, but like said Allah the Meir Anani, and then they just boom, they were like good dogs, good dogs. V'yavale. The sof ishtama milsa be malchus. V'yavale. Shavkua v'yavale. Maybe the dog gave it to them. Maybe like he gave him the money, like the transaction. The dog left him alone, and he was like, "Okay, it works." So he gave him the money. The sof ishtama milsa be malka. So like the sheba heard about it. Asyuha askuha lizakifa. Asyuha askuha. They went and they came up to. Zakiva is erection, but I don't think that's what it's talking about. Amar Allah de Meir Aneni, right? He said it again. Allah de Meir Aneni, Achtua, something. Then he went down. Oh, maybe like he went to like the top of like some, like the. Oh, they got him. They got him in a tower, maybe. And he said Allah Meir Aneni, and then like he went down or something. Amar Le, my high, like what is going on with this, right? Amar Lahu, Hachi have a Maisa. This is the story. Asu Chagagu de Musea, the Rebbe Meir, Pischa de Romi. So Chagagu de Musea is artist, right? Chagagu de Musea, someone's going to draw his likeness. He's going to sketch his likeness of Rebbe Meir. He came to the opening of Rome, to the entrance of Rome, just in case we weren't sure like who the Shebud was. He was like, oh, by the way, it's Rome. It's the Roman Empire. So Amri, Kol Dechazi Lepartsupa Hadain Lese. Anyone who see they had like a picture of Rebbe Meir that they were like taking around, and like they're like, yo. They're like, yo, did anyone see this wanted Rebbe Meir, right? Yom Achada Chazyuhi, someone saw him maybe. Rahat Abbasrei, Rahat Mikamayu, Al Bezono. So maybe he escaped to a whorehouse. And Ikid the Amr Bishule Avodas Kolchavim. And some people say that he ran to idolatry. Remember we heard about those two guys, Rabbi Chanina ben Chargin and Rabbi Elazar ben Parta? And they were like going on a path, and one of the paths was Avodah Zarah, and one of the paths was Hose. was prostitutes. And then they decided to go the prostitute way, and all the prostitutes were like inside, like went back inside, like they weren't trying to tempt them. They were like, "Oh, the Torah saved us," and they brought it because they were shoveling from Targum Yainasan or something. Her uncle is rather. So, what happened? Rad Kameh, he went to a whorehouse and maybe like a non-kosher butchery, foodery, eatery. Chaza Tamash Beha V'matak Beha. And he saw a tamash, which I don't know what it is, in this, and the metek, which maybe is like sweet. So maybe tamash is like the opposite of sweet or something. And so that's what he saw. Some people say, Asa Eliyahu came idmi lehu kizona. And Eliyahu was dressing up as a prostitute, you know? Yo, if you ever see a prostitute, like you can't be sure there's not just Eliyahu in drag. Idmi lehu kizona kide karchese, like maybe like a horror from like this place called Karchese Amri Chas B'Shalom. And they said Chas B'Shalom Rebbe Meir Hava Lo Hava Avidach. You tell me the story that Rebbe Meir goes to a whorehouse, he wouldn't have done this. Kam Arak Asal Bavel. So he got up and he ran to Bavel.
Bro, did we do this? We doing Chazara?
No, it's new. It's new.
This is new?
It's new.
New?
No, we haven't like this.
We must have
before.
just started this story like this, so similar, man.
Well, keep on referencing the story that like, you went to the whorehouse. Well, I referenced the story that we learned yesterday, 3 days ago, about like the two paths. I referenced that in the sense that over here is a different story. This is Rebbe Meir who's going, and some people say went to a whorehouse. Some people say went to like B'Shulei Avodah Zarah. We did not do this yet.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. So you enter Babel, Ikeda Army, and some people say Mihai Maisa, the Ikeda Army Maisa de Bruria. So some people say that he went to Babel because of this story, that he was ashamed or something, and maybe it was the story of Bruria, his wife. Okay, Rabosai. So that was like a compact story that was similar to things that we've been learning about. You know, talk a lot about horrors and Avodah Zarah. But this is a new story, and we got a lot of it, but now we're going to go over it again with Derashi. Bruria de Beso de Rebbe Meir. So she was the wife of Rebbe Meir, daughter of Rebbe Chanina ben Trajan. Havoy Amra lo. So she was saying to her husband, Zilubi Milsa, the Yasva Achsa Guba Shel Zoros. It's not Gishmak that my sister, Chanina ben Trajan's daughter, aka her sister, because she was also Chanina ben Trajan's daughter. My sister's in a hora, it's not Gavaldik. So Shuggle Tirkava de Dinari. We said Tirkava. We said before we saw Rashi, we're like, oh, maybe it's a pouch. Rashi here. Let's see what the Rashi says. Tirkava says Trey the Kav Chetzi Sa Dinari Zuvim. So yeah, it's an amount. An amount of okay. So he took that amount and he went and he said, if it's like his sister-in-law, right? If my sister-in-law was pure from sexual impropriety, then a miracle will happen to her. And if not, no miracle for you. Azal naka nafshe kechad parsha, right? And remember, I said, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's like a horse rider, like, right? So comes Rashi and says, naka nafshe kechad parsha, right? His skin in yane levujo ke'echad mina perushim. He dressed up like a horse rider. So he says, he dressed up like a horse rider. Amar Allah, he said to her, Hishmi'ani. And there's a note here. It says Hishmi'i, or listen to me, Hishmi'ili, tell me, like, are you pure? Amrale, so she says him Dashtana Ana. And so I wanted to learn it that like she had been intimate with a dude, she got plowed, aka. Rashi says Dashtana Ana Derech Nashimli. Now I'm in Nida. Dashtana is Nida. I'm in Nida, she's saying. I'm having my womanly flow. Amarle Mirtachana Mirtach. Rashi says Mirtachana Mirtach Kilaimar Amtin Lach Ad Sheyivsak Lech. Right? He's like, oh, no problem. You're bleeding out of who knows where? No problem. I will wait until you stop. Another place where they use such an out of the box sprach is in Bava Kama in Parak Maruba. It says Man Tarach Nitrach Shmuel. Like, all right, they use it in another place about Shmuel. Right. I doubt that Shmuel the Amira was having periods, but here they use it. There's another footnote here. Mitarach, not mirtach, which means like to burn, but mitrach, like tircha maybe. Like, don't worry, I'll just chill. Amra lo nefishin tuva v'ika tuva hacha. Saying like this. Nefishin tuva, like he's like, bro, I'm having a lot of blood, you know. The shapirin minai. He's like, oh wait. And she's like, yo, but there's a lot of girls who are much more pretty than me. Like, she was basically like, dude, get out of here, you know? Like, Rebbe Meir is like trying to like even like talk to his sister-in-law. She's like, bro, get the heck out of here. I'm bleeding and I don't want you to wait for me. There's a lot of other beautiful girls that are much hotter than me. What are you waiting around here for? So then he said, oh, she doesn't even want me around. It must be, right? Must be she's a lesbian. Now, it must be that she's lo of the Isura. And kol de asi amra like Aki. And anyone who comes to her try to get with her, she tells them like, "Yo, I'm bleeding, and don't stick around," you know. So he's like, "Oh, she's pure. She's not like tramp." So
Wow.
yeah. So now I can azal legabe shomer. Now he's like, now that I know that she's pure, now I will have success bribing which we still don't understand why Rabbi Chanina ben Trajin didn't just ask the guard to save him, and why like he told the guard like, okay, just make my death quicker, and then he dumped them with them. Like, it could have been great. Like, Chanina ben Trajin and the guard could have been like fighting back against the Romans. Like, why did he just let himself be killed? So Harry said like, oh well, the Asari Regan Malchus are Gilgal of the 10 Shvat. I'm like, bro, like, so you could say that Rabbi Chaim ben Trajin knew that, and he knew he had to use such a thing. He knew it was a Gilgal. Let himself be killed. He wasn't going to open his mouth. I don't know. I don't know. We got to find the makor for that, like for that whole Gilgal thing. Maybe they talk about it in a kina, right? I don't know if we can like really explain it like that. Okay, so maybe Adar Hameta knows about the sorry Urugim Malchus. It's like it's a real zach, you know. Okay, stop saying you know Shmuel. Stop asking them if they know. They know. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I've heard about that. I don't know exactly where. I just heard it was connected to saved from the Shvatim and what they did to him, etc.
Yeah. Also me. Also, I don't know. Like, it's very very dangerous to start like trying to understand the Gemara based on something that we heard when we were kids, and right. I rather blind fair than say a shot like that. You know, I rather say I don't understand Chanina ben Trajin's intentions. I rather say that than like say a shot relying on Gilgal's And like his foreknowledge of Gilgul's, nah, I'd rather blind fair. Okay. So I went to the Shomer, and he's like, Paul, right? He give him money. He's like, I'm afraid of the government. Mistapina mimachusa. Amr, right? Palga plach. And we said, we don't know what palga plach is. So I assume, I guess, I hypothesized that I was that palga plach was that half of it you give to the shibud, like plach, like you give it like for worship, and then half of it you keep yourself. Zok Rashi palga plach. So as a shilton, because boom, give it to the shilton. Give it to the shilton. By the way, the Hebrew word shilton is the etymology of the English word sultan. And give it to the leaders, give it to the shibud, and any time that they get like mad at you, like what, you lost another prisoner, just give them the money, and they'll be off your case, which is exactly how we learned Baruch Hashem put it up. So he says, "V'chi shalmi." Oh, and what about when it's done? What, they're going to keep on asking me for money? What about when the money's done? Then what am I going to give them? So he says, that's when you say, Allah the Meir aneni. That's when you say, the God of Meir, answer me, and you will be saved. Amar lei umi yemar the who says it's going to work? Zag Rashi mi yemar she'emes itcha she'enatzel b'tfilah. Who's saying that you're right? So he's like, I'll show you. Hashtachazis. Now you're going to see. Havu Hanu Kalbi. There were those two dogs that were eating a dude, bro. They're eating a human. Shagul Kala. So he took pisas for Gavim. He took like parts of the earth, twigs of sorts, of jorts. And Shada Bahu. He threw it at them, right? Or Shada or Patak Bihu. Havu Ka'asul Mechle. Oh, so they were eating one guy. Rebbe Meir took some dirt and threw it at the dogs, like to save the guy that the dogs were eating, and also like to distract them. And then they were coming at him. To eat Rebbe Meir. Rebbe Meir said, Allah de Meir aneni, shavkua, and they left him, right? They left him alone. The Yavale, and they brought it to him. Maybe the soap, right? Okay. So he gave him the money. They left him alone. He gave him the money. Okay, very good. I gave him the money and he saved him. So first of all, amazing that Rebbe Meir just saved the Bas Yisrael, a daughter of Chanina ben Trajin. And by the way, Rebbe Meir was saving a daughter who wasn't the most sneeze of the crew. But it wasn't like she was a whore, she wasn't like promiscuous. She said, okay, fine. The Sahara took a step. So he saved her. Then the Romans heard about it, right? Pope Francis was like, hello, you tell me that you let go? You're telling me he let go the girl? We come to get the watchman. We only like watchmen to let Jeffrey Epstein go, right? And so the Pope was not happy. So they heard it, right? They heard, the Vatican heard, right, what was going on. The Black Pope heard, the Pope heard, Biden heard, Trump heard, Netanyahu heard, Putin heard, Klaus Schwab. He's like, what? You will own nothing and you will be happy, right? That's what Klaus Schwab said. So, when he heard, right, the Roman Empire, Yabach Shemam Bezichram. We should, by the way, have the schus, the Chei Mon B'Tzel Tzalmon. It's Hanukkah right now. This is the time. We gotta have the kavana. You gotta have the kavanah when we're saying the bracha on the first bracha, Lahadlik Ner Chanukah. That's 13 words. 13 words, Lahadlik Ner Chanukah, and you're giving me the Zarachamim, and the Rosh Tevos is Nahar, Lahadlik Ner Chanukah, Nachal,
Wow.
which is a river. Bring it down. We got a year. This is the 8 days that we can get all these kochos and of mercy, right? Of rachamim, bro. You bring it down to fight the Sheba. That's what Hanukkah was. Everyone's like, Hanukkah, what a beautiful candle of light. We're celebrating the light miracle. It's like, well, actually, we're celebrating destroying our enemies. We're celebrating slugging up the Sheba of Yavan. And we're not only slugging up the Shibud of Yavan, but also slugging up the Misyavnim, also slugging up the Jews who became Greeks.
Yo, just
we
letting you know,
3 minutes. 3 minutes left?
It's my bad. I didn't realize the time counted down so fast. I was
holy hats. Okay.
Very much enjoying the share.
Yeah. So anyway, so what happened? So he went up to this kippah, which is Italia, which is a thing. The kippah is a burqa that sold him. Oh, they took him out to the place, but they were gonna crucify him. So my high the lomatzina lemis cafe, they couldn't get him. Every time he would say Allah the Meir Aneni, he would slip off the cross. Also the bezos kadeshi yomru lo hu diu lo hava ayo. Hi, I'm skipping because I'm pressured for time. Allah the Meir Aneni is you. Amrulo, my high, Amrulahu, Alchi Hava Mai. So this is what happened. They got a picture drawer of Rebbe Meir and they spread it all around Rome. Anyone who finds him, right? One day they found him, so he ran to the whorehouse. So that they'll say, oh, it couldn't be Rebbe Meir who went to the whorehouse. Rebbe Meir, Rebbe Meir, it's not him, right? That's why he went to like this whorehouse, this base of Odazara. They saw Tamash Beha Matak Beha. It says Tevel is in one, Me'etz Ba'osav, Umatzat Es Chaberta. What the heck? He was sucking his thumbs. He was sucking his thumb. He was like being like like weird, like maybe. Ikud the Amr. So some people say that Eliyahu Navi came and dressed up like one of the whores and saved him. Mishum Hai Maisa. And some people say that Rebbe Meir ended up running to Bavel after this, and it's maybe because of his mice that he just went to a whorehouse, or it's because mice of Bruria. Pam achas ligliga al sha'amru chachamim nashim daitan kalos. So one time Bruria was like, "What? You're saying nashim daitan kalos?" And she was like saying like the rabbis, they don't know anything. In alayu, right? The amar la chayecha sovecha lahodos to devrehem. Like you are going to agree that women have feeble minds in certain aspects. They're stronger than men. It's just Vitziva, right? B'nai Sarah. Vitziva la'echami talmidav l'nasosa l'davar. So there was one Talmud that was going to try to do a sin with Bruria. The hiftzir ba'yamim rabim, like every day he was hitting on her. Ad shenis ratzes, until she was ready to like sin with him. Ukeshenodalo chan ka'atma, she hangs herself. Rebbe Meir, he was so embarrassed that his daughter was like just committed suicide, and she was like getting ready to like hook up, and so that's why some people say that